Hi. I wanted to share a little bit today about the journey, the entrepreneurial journey. And I'm not talking about just like starting like a jam business or something. Like, I want to talk about like a business that's birthed from your soul and from your entire being. And it is almost like an extension of you and the work that you have done in your own personal world. Um, so I want to talk a little bit about what the journey of building a business like that can sometimes be like. Everyone has a different experience, of course, right? So this is my personal experience. And I just think that it is so important to, the entire time you're building this thing, keep in mind, keep in your heart why you started this in the first place. Because this journey is going to rock you like nothing else. It is going to bring up every single buried wound that you have, and it is going to make you face it before you can really show up in the full capacity that you need to. So, yeah, just remembering the why. I ended up bringing my laptop and things to the beach today because I just have been on the computer all morning, working for my business, just doing a lot of the content creation and marketing and creative writing and all sorts of things, and just really needed a second to step outside. And sometimes it's nice to work outside. And when I lived at a river house, I used to bring my laptop down there and work down there sometimes. And so I thought today would be a nice day to bring it here. Yeah, so that is something that is a really cool thing about being self-employed, right? Is you can just walk yourself to the beach at whatever time you want and work from the beach on your laptop. And I say self-employed in a business such as the one like I'm running. So a big thing that has changed in my business recently is I am pivoting from a more in-person presence to a more online presence. And I've already been in the online space for a couple of years in some ways, you know, having a social media, posting about my in-person things online. But I'm such a nomad. I love to wander. I love to explore this world. And so I don't see myself rooting in one place for too long. Maybe having a space where it's rooted and I can do in-person things like that. But I would rather create an online community that's more global and that I can meet in different places around the world. So that's a big pivot that's been going on in my business. And that is just a big shift in the self, from from your local community to the world. Now, I've already connected with a lot of people through online means who do similar work, and I really respect the communities that they have built online and just the way that they show up in their work online. So, really going to challenge myself going forward to show up online more. And anytime I find excuses, like right now I just have a full house of people where I live, and there's a 3-year-old and a dog, and it's just difficult to find time to record there. So I took a walk to the beach today, and oftentimes I'll be like, what if there's nowhere to record at the beach, blah, 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 blah. But sometimes you really just have to go and show up, and the things will make sense. So yeah, that's a big thing that I want to touch on, is just pivoting in your business, knowing when to pivot. So originally I started with just wanting to be a yoga teacher. I practiced yoga for a really long time. and was finally ready to step into the role of leading others and helping others with this tool that really changed my entire life. And I just started with teaching at some other studios and things like that, and then segued into having my own studio in my house. That was intense and also amazing, but short-lived. And through that, I was called to go deeper into my gifts and really pull out like energy work, astrology, tarot, storytelling, writing, all of these things, and sort of go back to yoga being more of a personal practice for myself. And I was still teaching at some different studios and trying to make things work and doing private clients and things like that. But the gnawing nudge to just show up online, it just grows. And especially because earlier this year I uprooted my entire life and moved from the East Coast of the United States all the way to Hawaii in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So definitely your in-person community aspect of your business takes a hit when you do something like that, and you have to pivot. So one of the things I really want to just say is knowing when to pivot and knowing when to keep going on something, and only you will really know that for yourself. But I'm going to record a longer episode sharing all of these stories, or maybe some mini episodes sharing different stories of the whole path, the whole journey, because I am definitely a storyteller and I could just ramble on all these different stories, but I'm trying to stay focused on some of the things that I want to talk about in this video. So one of the other large obstacles I have encountered in this journey of becoming like a soul-led solo entrepreneur is lack of support. And so many people who are in this entrepreneurial space are really leading the way on something. They're really forging a path on something. And there just isn't a lot of support for those types of things. And sometimes the support is very, very costly, and not everybody has the funds to be able to pay for that level of support. So obviously, orient towards support wherever you can, but so many people in your life are not going to know how to truly support you through this thing because they don't know anything about it. You don't know anything about it. You're learning about it, and you're one step ahead of where they're at. So it gets a little tough in that respect. But put yourself into communities where there is support, and there's also free spaces out there. There are lots of tiered level spaces out there to show up and be seen in the work that you do. And back to just having it bring up all of the hidden, repressed shadows, things that you shoved down in yourself. Your business is almost going to be a guiding light in how to navigate that terrain to where you can. It's almost like, your business is a living entity. So it's like it's going to grow when you are ready to hold more. And it's going to pause and ask for you to focus on the foundation whenever you are needing to come in a little bit more. So it's sort of paying attention to the dance between your personal life and the business. And the goal with my business is to create work that reaches people at a depth that they haven't found somewhere else, and it just helps them be really seen. And the goal of it is to do that in such a way that allows for me to still fill my cup and still be able to have the capacity to show up, especially in the online space, because you're holding space for far more people once you reach a level online. So yeah, I think that it's sort of seeing the rhythms of your business and the rhythms of your own personal life and sort of letting them play off of each other like a little dance, and just knowing when to pull back and when to go forward and when to just like stop and focus on yourself, and when to put more energy into your business because you have already made the foundation of yourself. And this can take years, guys. This can take years. You have to be patient with yourself. You have to have compassion and grace for yourself, but you also have to light a bit of fire under your ass. So if that's you, I see you. It feels like hell at times, and it also is. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Excuse me. So yeah, I think those are some of the main points I wanted to discuss today in the challenges that I have personally dealt with. And there's a lot more of them, but they'll come out in other days. So this is a little segue into introducing me, sharing some of my art on here. I've been writing a lot more and also sharing some old journal pieces of mine from a couple years ago when I was really in the trenches and doing some different work, more internal shadow work. So those journals are now going to be posted online. You can find them on my website, on Substack, on Medium, and they're free. So go read them, and if they help you, that's awesome. Yeah, so I recently cleared some patterns. I've done the purging. I'm on schedule for the 9 and the snake here. And I am in a space of creation right now because I have purged enough energy that there is open space. And so a lot of stuff sort of coming flooding through me as I was clearing out that work. So I'm going to start sharing some of the things that I have written. And if you want to sign up, you can sign up through any of those platforms and have it sent to your email. I'm also going to be doing a weekly astrology report with tarot readings attached. So I'll give you the transits each day of the week. Some days there won't be a whole lot of stuff going on, but I will guide you through each transit that we are experiencing throughout the week and give you some little insights through the lens of tarot on how to take aligned action for yourself. And just keep in mind that sometimes aligned action means rest. So yeah, there will be those things in the works. You can follow me on Threads. I'm going to be posting all kinds of content on there, just going into different personal things that I have dealt with in case they help anybody else. And also just sort of painting the picture of resiliency on this path, because I know that there are people out there who are walking a path that isn't one that was laid out for them. And if you are like me, you will need some other people sharing their stories and the path that they walked so that you can really feel that it is possible. So yeah, there will be many more stories to be had and some poems to be shared as well, and lots of knowledge, different things about astrology, tarot, yoga, all of that. And I said I was going to keep this short, but my storyteller brain doesn't always work like that. So just want to share a little bit about all of the stuff that people really don't see when you're producing a business like this. So it's like they're going to see the social media posts, they're going to see all the content that you're putting out there. Possibly, social media is weird, but they're going to see the stuff that is public. What they're not going to see is how much you had to learn to implement an online business like this. And it's the amount of different skill sets that you have to accumulate. It's going to stop a lot of people from going forward. And some people are going to have the luxury of already having some income in their business and then being able to hire a second person to take the weight of some of the administrative tasks. But that's not going to be the case for everyone. So if that's not the case for you and you're a one-man team and you're doing this all by yourself, just know that there's a lot to learn, and it just might take a long time to really learn it all and get it there, especially if you're in the process of dealing with many sorts of personal things, which who isn't? Yeah, there's just so much. It's like you have to learn how to use each one of these individual platforms, and they all have different nuances and different things that work for one but not the other, and you want to cross post onto them, and it just like doesn't always, it's not seamless. So you have to sort of adjust. You got to do one thing for Medium, one thing for Substack, one thing for your own website, and publish the same piece on all three, but it's a little different. So it just takes a lot of learning curve, learning how to build your own website if you can't afford to pay someone to do it for you. Learning how to schedule all of your social media so you don't have to be there every single day attending to it. Those things take a lot of time, and just be patient, because one day you're going to see all of those different pieces like come together in front of your eyes, and you're just going to feel so strong in your foundation. You're just like, it's going to be like, you're going to feel like you did it and you haven't even seen any results yet. That's because you did.